So the start of the game, not really what we wanted. We have to figure out how to start a little bit closer to what we did in the third quarter. But the bench came in and gave us a huge boost, and part of it is just finding our way, and part of it is like learning how to play together at that high level without constantly digging a hole. And to these guys' credit, they continue to show fight, and we've won a bunch of these games, but it is not, we can't live off a steady diet of that. And I think that they understand that, but understanding it and finding a way to make sure that we have better starts is imperative. It's not even a negotiable. Happy with the 41 threes. That's a good number. 24 assists. We need to get that closer to 30. All in all, some good performances, but not satisfied. Yeah.
Doug, you talked pregame about it's a good problem to have to find minutes for everybody. You were making sure to incorporate Keon there at the end at times for Malik, at one point for DeRozan as well. Can you talk about that decision of when to implement him and the tough decision of who to take out?
Yeah, it's a tough decision, and they were being tough on me, which is like, I love their competitive spirit. And when I took Debo out, I was just like, just give me one possession, put Malik in, and then got Debo right back in when they called a timeout. He comes out and hits a bucket. Like, he's one of our closers. Especially on the offensive end, we have to have him in the game, but we have to figure out how to make sure that we are getting stops and rebounding the basketball. Because the most important thing is we win the game, and they all want to win the game. But you are correct. Like, it's a good problem to have. It's one that I will relish, and from time to time they will get upset with me, and I understand that. I love them all, but I love winning most.
Coach DC, that 45 points in that third quarter was definitely significant, but Kings did have 19 rebounds, 3 steals, a couple block shots. Talk about the defense side of that third quarter.
Yeah, the ability to have active hands, be physical, make them feel us, touch the man, touch the ball, have a presence about yourself, and a resilience that just does not want them to do anything remotely close to how they started the game. Like, it's the only way. Like, if that's what we do for a whole game, the starters are probably sitting down in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden guys are getting a chance to run that maybe don't always and find their rhythm. That's what we want. But when you start the game the way that we did, it's not good. It's just not good. We have to be better. But that third quarter, I think, showed it's like, your kid, once they show you that they can make their bed and clean their room, it's like, oh, you showed me, you messed up now. Okay, so I'm gonna need that. And that's what I pretty much said to him. It's like, that's great. You showed me that it's possible. Now we need to make it consistent.
Just to kind of piggyback off what Matt was saying, for about 4:30, 3:30 left in the game, looks like Malik came to the scores table a couple times and sat down.
Yeah.
Was the plan there for him to come in for Keon, or were you kind of just trying to scope it out at that moment?
No, he was coming in for Debo, but Debo made a shot. And, if Malik was in that position, Debo would be like, leave him in the game, because those are the type of guys that we got, that they understand the game. When you start getting the game going, it's more about winning the game. So Malik was like, I'm good, D, and he went back. Now as that time started getting lower and lower, he's like, yo, and I get it. I love the competitive spirit that all of them bring, but that was kind of the rhythm of it, trying to see if he was going to get a game going. Once Debo got a game going, I mean, he's the closer of the highest regard, so we got to let him do his thing.
Doug, for whatever reason, the group that you have now in that second unit seem to be finding some sort of chemistry, like already. So how impressed are you with LaRavia and what you're seeing from Jonas, and then how Trey and Keon are sort of fitting in alongside those guys?
Yeah, it's really good, to be honest with you, to be able to go to your bench and have production. And the production doesn't always need to be offensive, because that's not really, there was some offense there, but like Jake immediately gets a steal. Like, those are the things that we need when we go to the bench. Jonas's size, his rebounding, his rim protection, those are things that we need from our bench. And sometimes it'll be we're ahead, they keep the lead. Sometimes we're behind and they need to bring us back. And tonight it was the latter. But it's a really good thing when you look down there and you're like, okay, come on in, as opposed to, oh boy, we're in trouble. Yeah.
Doug, I know you love the fans here, and you love the way the fans love the players here. To see these guys come in and you know, just get huge ovations like right off the bat and be embraced like that, how good does that feel for you?
Man, it's these fans, man. You guys know what I want for them more than anything. If I could buy it, steal it, I would, because they deserve it. That's who they are. They support this team through the thick, thin, good, bad. They are here, and I respect that so much, because through my time I've seen a lot of different things when it comes to fan bases, and this fan base has continued to support, and I love them for it. And I think that what these guys are going to come to understand is when it's time to put the show on, they're going to support them in a way that creates a home court advantage that will run some teams out of here. But the one thing that they always need to feel is when they walk into this arena, they need to know that win or lose, they're going to play their hearts out. And that's all I ask from them. All the rest, we'll make shots, we'll miss shots, sometimes we'll turn it over, there will be a lot of different things. But the one thing that is a non-negotiable is how hard and how competitive we need to be for these fans every night.
Falling down 20 in the first half, just what do you see as the shortcomings there defensively, specifically defending the three, and how did they change in the second?
You know, Trey Murphy is a heck of a player, man. But when we switch, which we call red, when that happens, you have to be physical. You can't point switch. That gives space. We don't want space. When I talked to you guys earlier, I want to close space. I want to close airspace. I want them to put the ball on the deck. And there were a couple of times when we read it and we were back, free shot. He doesn't even see you. He's a little deeper than you might think he'll shoot it, and he shoots it. Like, these are things that we have to be better at, locked in, communicating at a really high level. In the first half, I think their hot guys were like 7 for 10. When I say hot guys, I'm talking CJ, Trey, and in the second half, they only hit 2. And I think that spoke to the level of aggressiveness and physicality and sense of urgency and all of the things that I require. And when they do it, things go better. And we have to make sure, though, that we start the game with that type of sense of urgency.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you guys.